Beloved children of mine, Saint Michael, the warrior of heaven, the protector of your souls, comes to deliver a message filled with love and caution. I love you with a deep and unwavering love, and that love compels me to warn you of the dangers and challenges humanity is about to face. Remember, my love does not bring fear but protection, so that you may prepare and overcome the fierce storms that are approaching. You are living in a world filled with turmoil where instability and chaos prevail, and these storms arise not only from natural phenomena, but also from the depths of human society. But do not worry, my children, for I am always here, watching over your every step. My protection comes not only from the sword I carry, but also from the warnings and signs I will send to you, so that you do not lose your way amidst the turbulent waves. I love you, and with that love, I come to signal that difficult times are near. You must be prepared, be vigilant, and hold steadfast to the guidance of heaven. I do not want you to be afraid of what lies ahead, for if you hold firm in your faith, my protection and the protection of heaven will always be with you. Trust that through every trial, I will be there, guiding you through the darkness toward the light. This is why I come to remind you that even if the world around you seems to be crumbling, my protection will never fade. I love you, and with that love, I will lead you through every hardship. Beloved chosen ones, I, Archangel Michael, come to warn you of a looming betrayal. In the coming days, there will be those you have trusted who will turn against you. They will hurt you not only through actions, but also with words, through silent deception that you would never expect. Betrayal is a deep wound, a cut that doesn't heal easily. But I want you to understand that betrayal is not just a trial, but a valuable lesson in trust and how you face it. I want you to know that sometimes betrayal comes from those you love the most, from people you believe would never hurt you. This is a great test of patience and forgiveness, and it mirrors the issues humanity is currently facing in this era. In a world full of instability and chaos, people are losing trust in each other. It is these divisions, conflicts, and selfish pursuits that have caused relationships between individuals, communities, and even nations to break down. These betrayals are not just personal, but extend to larger levels, between people and the systems they once trusted. Looking at society today, I clearly see the signs of betrayal everywhere. Many of you feel lost, disconnected, as you've been betrayed by those you once held in trust. Economic crises, rising unemployment, and fractured social connections. All of these are signs of a world plunging into disorder. You feel betrayed by the systems you once thought would protect you. But remember, these are just trials on the path you must walk. I'm here to remind you that betrayal is not the end, but an opportunity to stand up, to learn how to discern between those who are worthy of your trust and those who only seek to exploit it. Betrayal is always a bitter lesson. It teaches you that not everyone is trustworthy and not everyone will walk with you to the end of the road. But remember, when you face betrayal, you are not alone. I will always be with you, shielding you from greater harm. What's important is that you learn to recognize the warning signs before it's too late. Listen to your intuition, for it is through your heart and soul that I will send you signals to help you discern who is loyal and who is a traitor. Betrayal doesn't only inflict personal pain, but also shakes your trust in the relationships around you. But beloved ones, I come to advise you to hold fast to your faith. Do not let betrayal harden your hearts or turn them cold. I know that when you face those who have betrayed you, you will feel hurt and anger. But I want you to learn forgiveness. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting the pain they caused, but freeing yourself from resentment. When you forgive, you open the door to healing, not only for yourself, but for those around you as well. In this age, where the world becomes increasingly unstable, betrayal can come from anywhere. It could be the person you trust most, the one you've relied on. They may hurt you out of jealousy, envy, or selfish ambition. But remember, betrayal is not the end. It's an opportunity for you to cultivate patience, forgiveness, and the ability to protect yourself from those who are unworthy of your trust. When you realize that not everyone deserves your trust, you will grow stronger and wiser. My chosen ones, I advise you to be vigilant. In the days ahead, betrayal will come, but I want you to prepare your spirit to face it. Trust your intuition. Learn carefully before placing your faith in someone. Do not let betrayal harm your spirit, for you are not alone. I am always here, watching over you and protecting you. Do not let betrayal cause you to lose faith in life, for it is your faith in love and truth that will guide you through the greatest trials. Beloved chosen ones, look at the world you are living in. Betrayal, as I have warned, is not only present in personal relationships, but has spread across all levels of society. Humanity is going through a great crisis of trust, and this is not just happening within families or between friends, but also within the very systems you once depended on. I see this instability clearly, and I come to help you recognize the problem so that you may prepare for the challenges ahead. Think about the world today. You have seen how the crisis of trust affects your daily lives. The financial systems you once trusted have collapsed, leading to rising unemployment, loss of assets, and global economic instability. Many of you have lost faith in the ability of governments and powerful institutions as they have failed to meet the needs of humanity. Economic crises are widespread, leaving you to face concerns about your finances and the future of your families. But this crisis is not only about economics. I have witnessed the decline of trust between people. Social instability is becoming a serious issue. Relationships between individuals and communities are more fragile than ever. In an era where you can easily connect with each other through technology, people have become more distant, losing the spiritual connection that once bound them together. Your dependence on technology and the emphasis on material success have made you feel isolated from one another, even though on the surface you seem to have all the tools to connect. I see this in family relationships, where parents, children, and siblings are losing the understanding they once had for each other. Family, a critical foundation of society, is being fractured by external pressures and the changes of modern life. Many feel they can no longer trust their loved ones, and betrayal is not only happening among strangers, but within their very own families. I also see this instability extending into work relationships. In the workplace, many feel they are being exploited, betrayed by their colleagues or even by their leaders. They feel they are not being treated fairly, leading to a loss of trust in their working environment. Many no longer feel safe or protected in their jobs, constantly worrying they will be betrayed or deceived for someone else's personal gain. In modern society, betrayal is no longer a rare occurrence. It has become part of daily life. From political scandals to corporate deceit, and even petty conflicts between individuals, all these point to the fact that trust is running dry. This does not only cause emotional harm, but leaves you feeling confused, unsure of whom to rely on, and questioning who is truly trustworthy in your life. But, beloved chosen ones, I do not come here to sow pessimism. I come so that you may understand that, in this crisis of trust, you can still find light if you listen to your intuition, if you hold fast to the values of love, truth, and loyalty. The world is undergoing major changes, which makes many relationships fragile, but you can overcome this if you choose the right path. Look at the world around you, and you will see that betrayal comes from everywhere. Politicians deceive the public to maintain power. Business leaders manipulate markets for their own profit, disregarding the consequences they cause to others. But in all this chaos, there are still those who live with loyalty and truth. I want you to be among those people, those who do not allow themselves to be drawn into the whirlpool of betrayal and deceit. You must learn to stand firm in your faith, even when everything around you is collapsing. In today's society, where many have lost trust in the system, in personal relationships, and even in themselves, you must remain alert. Vigilance and intuition will help you discern who is truly trustworthy and who is a traitor. Do not let confusion and loss of trust blind you. Always remember that I will be here to guide you. Trust in the signs you receive from heaven, for they will help you find the right path in a world filled with betrayal. This crisis of trust is not just a personal issue. It is a reflection of the decay in the systems you once placed your faith in. I know this makes you feel lost, but remember, a crisis is also an opportunity for rebuilding. You do not need to rely on the old, decaying systems. Instead, you must find trust again in the true values of love and truth. It is from these values that you will reconnect with one another and rebuild a society founded on trust and mutual respect. Beloved chosen ones, you must always remember that a crisis is not the end. It is preparation for a rebirth, a great transformation. When trust is lost, it is an opportunity for you to rebuild from the most fundamental values. Betrayal and deceit may hurt you, but they cannot destroy you if you learn to rise, if you hold fast to what is right. The world may become chaotic, but I will always be with you, protecting you from the greatest betrayal of all, betraying yourself. Beloved chosen ones, as you live in a world filled with upheaval, I want to emphasize the importance of spiritual preparation and constant vigilance. Humanity is facing unprecedented challenges, and at this moment, spiritual preparation is absolutely essential. Your spirit must be strong and steadfast, for the great events to come are inevitable. The trials will not only come from external forces, but also from within yourselves. Spiritual preparation begins with understanding yourselves, knowing who you are, and being ready to face the difficulties that the world places before you. You must ask yourselves, am I ready? Is my spirit strong enough to face the storms that are coming? These questions are not easy to answer, but they are the first step toward preparing for what lies ahead. Remember, without spiritual preparation, you will easily be lost amid the rapid changes of the world. I call upon you to remain ever vigilant. In the coming days, betrayal and deceit may arise from anywhere, even from those you trust the most. This is why maintaining vigilance is of utmost importance. This is not to make you live in fear or constant suspicion, but to enable you to protect yourselves and those around you from negative forces. Vigilance will help you recognize warning signs before it is too late, guiding you to make wise decisions in difficult situations. I want you to understand that in a chaotic world like the one you live in, no one can survive without spiritual preparation. You may prepare physically, stocking up on food, water, and money. But if your spirit is weak, all those material preparations will be in vain. You must prepare your mind, so when difficulties arise, you are not crushed under their weight. Build for yourselves a steadfast spirit, unwavering determination, and an unshakable faith in the values I have taught you. You need to reassess the relationships in your lives. In this world full of instability, not everyone is trustworthy. I do not advise you to be suspicious of everyone around you, but ask yourselves, who is truly worthy of my trust? Who will help me in times of hardship? And who will betray me when the time comes? Evaluating and identifying trustworthy people is extremely important at this time. You should not place blind faith in anyone without careful consideration, for betrayal can come from those you least expect. Spiritual preparation will not only help you overcome trials, but will also enable you to become a beacon of light for others. When your spirit is strong, you will be able to help those around you who are falling into panic and fear. You will become a point of support, a guide for those who are still lost in the darkness. This is the responsibility I entrust to the chosen ones. You must prepare not only for yourselves but also for your communities. Always remember, the trials to come will not be easy. The world will undergo massive transformations, and without preparation, you will not be able to withstand them. Vigilance and spiritual preparation are the key elements that will allow you to stand firm through every upheaval. Do not let fear dominate you, but also do not be complacent in the face of the warnings I have given. Preparation is the key to overcoming all hardships, and vigilance will help you stay clear of those who are untrustworthy, those who may harm you when the time comes. Beloved chosen ones, remember that I am always by your side, helping you maintain your faith and spirit in the most difficult times. Remain alert, remain vigilant, and constantly prepare your spirit for the trials ahead. Only when you are fully spiritually prepared and keep your vigilance can you withstand the storms of this world and move toward the light I have promised you. Beloved chosen ones, I, Archangel Michael, come to remind you that heaven has sent you warnings. These warnings are not meant to cause you worry, but to help you prepare and recognize danger before it arrives. You must understand that heaven is always watching over you, always sending you signs so that you do not lose your way. However, to recognize these signs, you must listen to your own intuition. This is the voice of heaven, the light that I and the angels send to you in your darkest moments. Your intuition is not just a fleeting feeling or impulse. It is the result of a deep spiritual connection between you and heaven. Sometimes you may feel that something is not right, or you may notice warnings in your relationships or the circumstances around you. This is not random. It is the voice of heaven, my voice, urging you to be cautious, to pause and reflect before you act. In this era, where the noise and distractions from the outside world overwhelm you, many of you have lost the ability to listen to your intuition. You are easily swayed by false promises, by the empty words of those who are not trustworthy. But I call upon you to return to yourself, to listen to what your intuition is telling you. I have given each of you the ability to hear, but only those who truly focus inward can recognize the important messages I am sending. I see the chaos in today's world, where so many are too reliant on advice from outside, forgetting that within themselves lies the most important answers. Beloved ones, know that your intuition is a powerful tool to help you recognize betrayal, deceit, and danger that you cannot see with your eyes. I am guiding you through your very intuition, but you must learn to trust it, to listen more deeply. Heaven never leaves you alone, never lets you fall into danger without a warning. But the problem is that many of you have lost the sharpness to recognize these warnings. You are too caught up in the daily hustle, preoccupied with material concerns, power, and ambition. Because of this, you no longer have time to listen to your hearts, to notice the signals from heaven. In these uncertain times, listening to your intuition is more necessary than ever. I remind you that warnings are not always obvious. They often come in forms you do not expect. It could be an uneasy feeling when meeting someone, a strange dream you cannot explain, or a strong sense that you should avoid a dangerous situation. These are not coincidences. These are warnings that I and the angels send to you to help you escape traps and dangers. Beloved ones, I urge you to trust your intuition. It is a part of the connection between you and heaven, a tool that I have given you to protect yourselves in the darkest times. Never ignore feelings that you cannot explain. Believe that heaven is trying to speak to you through your own intuition. And when you trust it, you will see that your intuition never fails. In a world full of deceit and betrayal, you need to rely on your intuition more than ever. You cannot simply rely on logic or what your eyes see, for often the truth lies in things you cannot immediately perceive. Your intuition will help you see through the masks that others wear, guiding you to those who are truly trustworthy and steering you away from those who seek to exploit you. I want to remind you that when you listen to your intuition, you are not just listening to yourself, but also to the guidance from heaven. This is something that very few realize. You may think that your intuition is just a vague feeling, but in reality, it is my voice, the voices of the angels, whispering to you. Let it guide you, for only then can you overcome the challenges that lie ahead. Beloved chosen ones, wake up and listen to your intuition. Know that heaven never abandons you and is always with you through the signs you feel within. This is the most powerful weapon I have given you to fight against betrayal and deceit. Trust in it, and you will always be protected. Beloved chosen ones, when I speak of betrayal, it is not merely the personal wounds you may experience in your daily lives. It is also a reflection of the decline in the broader social relationships in which you live. Today's world is facing many fractures in trust between people. This betrayal is not only found within families or workplaces, but has spread across all of society. Jealousy, envy, and personal ambitions have corroded relationships that were once considered strong. You must understand that betrayal is not just the breaking of trust, but a result of weakness in the soul. Many betray because they are not strong enough to face the truth, not brave enough to remain loyal when tested by the temptations of the world. Envy and jealousy have taken root in the minds of many, making them easily betray those closest to them in pursuit of personal goals. This is a spiritual disease that you must be wary of, for it can harm not just one person, but entire communities and societies. Look at the relationships in today's society. Many of you have been betrayed by those you once trusted most. You can see this clearly in politics, where leaders deceive the public and betray their promises to maintain power. You also see it in business, where betrayal occurs daily through manipulative tactics to achieve personal profit with no regard for the consequences on others. Even in personal relationships, betrayal happens when people put their own interests above friendship, family, and love. I know that betrayal can cause deep wounds, making you lose faith in people and life itself. But I am here to tell you that you should not confront traitors with hatred. Hatred only burdens your hearts, plunging your spirit into darkness. Instead of confrontation, you must learn to protect yourselves with wisdom and vigilance. You need to discern who is truly trustworthy and who will betray you when the time comes. Archangel Michael advises you to use intelligence to deal with betrayal. Confrontation is not always the best solution. You must learn to see the issue more deeply, not just react emotionally. When you are betrayed, the important thing is not revenge, but learning to overcome the pain and continue living with honesty and trust. Believe that the betrayal you face is also a lesson, an opportunity to become stronger. I urge you to use forgiveness as a tool to protect yourself from the deep spiritual wounds that betrayal can cause. Forgiving does not mean accepting what the betrayer did, but it frees you from the burden of hatred. When you forgive, you no longer allow the betrayer to control your emotions or your life. Forgiveness is the way to move forward without being held back by the pain of the past. However, forgiveness does not mean you should overlook acts of betrayal or allow them to continue. I encourage you to set boundaries to protect yourselves from those who may harm you. Look at the relationships in your life and ask, who is truly walking this path with me, and who is merely using me for personal gain? You should not allow yourself to be trapped in a cycle of repeated betrayal, but learn to protect yourself by clearly recognizing unhealthy relationships. In this time, as the world undergoes many upheavals, betrayal in social relationships is becoming more common than ever. You must always remain vigilant, not only to protect yourselves, but to defend the values you hold dear. Remember, a traitor often hides behind the mask of familiarity. They may be those with whom you've shared joys and sorrows, but when hardship comes, they are the first to turn away. I do not advise you to live in constant suspicion, but I want you to understand that wisdom and vigilance are necessary. When you learn to recognize the signs of betrayal, you will not be taken by surprise when it occurs. You will have the strength to face it without being deeply wounded. Always listen to your intuition, for it will help you discern who is truly trustworthy. Finally, beloved chosen ones, I want to remind you that betrayal is not something you can control, but how you respond to it is entirely within your power. Face betrayal with wisdom, patience, and forgiveness. Let it be a lesson that helps you grow, teaching you that not everyone is worthy of your trust. But that does not mean you must abandon your faith in humanity. Live with vigilance, but do not let it turn you cold or distant. Always remain open to those who are truly trustworthy, and do not let a single betrayal rob you of your ability to love and trust. Betrayal is only one of the many trials you will face, but with wisdom and unwavering faith, you will overcome them all. Beloved chosen ones, I, Archangel Michael, come to remind you of the importance of strengthening your faith in a world filled with turmoil. You are living in a time of immense challenges, as natural disasters, climate change, social unrest, and spiritual crises grip the globe. In the midst of this chaos, only steadfast faith can help you stand firm and overcome all trials. You must understand that faith is not only belief in God and me, but also belief in the core values of life: love, truth, and compassion. These values have been eroded in a world where greed, selfishness, and materialism have taken hold. You have seen this in all aspects of life, from politics and economics to personal relationships. As the current systems collapse, and as trust in humanity fades, you must rely on your faith to find light in the darkness. In recent years, the world has witnessed an increase in natural disasters and extreme weather events. Hurricanes, droughts, wildfires, and uncontrollable climate changes have caused massive physical and spiritual losses to humanity. But, dear ones, you must not see only destruction in these events, but view them as signs to awaken, to recognize that the current world is falling into a spiral of collapse. This world has become more fragile than ever. Many nations, communities, and families are falling into disarray. Political and social conflicts are raging everywhere. Many of you feel confused and lost amidst constant change, uncertain where to find faith. But I want you to know that even as the world crumbles around you, faith is what will help you stand firm. When you believe in God, when you believe in love and truth, you will find peace within your soul, regardless of the turmoil around you. Strengthening your faith is not just about prayer or following religious rituals, but about living in alignment with the values that faith instills. When you live with love, when you help those around you, when you remain steadfast in truth, you are strengthening your faith. Faith is not merely belief in the unseen, but also in how you live each day, how you face challenges, and how you overcome them. In this chaotic world, many people are losing faith in the future and in themselves. They seek security in material wealth and power, only to discover that none of these bring lasting peace. You must understand that only faith can guide you through these crises. Not blind faith, but faith rooted in true values: love, truth, and compassion. I know that many of you feel powerless in the face of the events unfolding. You see yourselves as small in the face of natural changes and conflicts you cannot control. But I want you to know that you are not alone. Your faith is the bridge between you and heaven. When you pray and live in truth, you will receive guidance from heaven, and I will always be by your side, helping you through these great trials. Beloved chosen ones, do not let the external chaos shake your faith. The storms of this world are temporary, but faith endures forever. This world may change, but the love and truth you live by will be values that never fade. Your faith will be the light that guides your path, helping you stay on course amidst the darkness. I call upon you to strengthen your faith now, for greater trials are on the way. The world will continue to experience many upheavals, and only faith will carry you through. You must prepare not only in material ways, but spiritually, by strengthening your faith. When your faith is strong, you will no longer fear challenges. You will know that heaven is always with you, and I am here, protecting and guiding you. Strengthening your faith does not mean isolating yourself from the world, but learning to face it with clarity and peace. You must understand that there will always be challenges, but it is your faith that will determine how you overcome them. When you live with love and truth, you not only strengthen your faith, but also spread that faith to others, helping them find light in dark times. Humanity is facing many crises, and this has caused many to lose faith in the future. But I tell you that this is not the end, but the beginning of a new era, a world where love and truth will reign. However, to enter that world, you must hold fast to your faith. Do not let the immediate difficulties shake your belief. You must remain steadfast because these challenges are temporary and faith will guide you through them. Beloved chosen ones, I call on you to live in accordance with your faith. Do not just speak of faith, but demonstrate it through your actions, through how you treat others and how you face adversity. Remember, faith is not something that can be swayed by the storms of this world. Faith is your strength, the light that will lead you through every trial, and the foundation that will keep you standing firm when all else falls. Beloved chosen ones, I, Archangel Michael, come to remind you of the great power of intuition, which I have bestowed upon each of you. Your intuition is not a vague feeling, but the voice of heaven, a spiritual connection between your soul and the divine power that I and the angels protect. In these times of turbulence, your intuition is the most powerful tool you can use to recognize danger and the warning signs that your physical eyes cannot see. Intuition is not merely a fleeting emotion, it is deep guidance from within, born from the spiritual connection to heaven. There have been times when you sensed something was not right in your life, or you recognized an unhealthy relationship, even without clear evidence. That is the power of your intuition, a quiet voice from within, reminding you that heaven is watching and guiding you every step of the way. I see that recently, many of you have lost faith in your own intuition. You have relied too much on reason, on what can be seen and felt with ordinary senses, forgetting that your intuition is a much stronger tool than that. Intuition is my voice, the warning of heaven, helping you steer away from danger and make the right decisions. I remind you that to fully realize the power of your intuition, you must learn to listen to it. This requires quietness, focus on your inner self, and a strong trust in yourself. Intuition does not come from the outside world, but from within your own soul. When you trust your intuition, you will see that it is always right. But if you ignore or doubt it, you will gradually lose its sharpness and one of the most powerful tools I have given you. Your intuition not only helps you avoid danger, but also leads you to better relationships and the right paths. When you feel unease about a relationship or situation, do not ignore that feeling. That is a sign from me and the angels guiding you. Listen to it, trust in it, because it will help you avoid mistakes and unnecessary pain. In the days to come, the world will experience even greater upheavals and the chaos will intensify. You will face difficult decisions, and there will be moments when you feel lost, unsure of what to do. That is when your intuition will guide you. You may not have all the answers immediately, but trust the feeling inside you. I will always be here, leading and protecting you, and the voice of your intuition is how I and the angels send you messages. Remember, when you listen to your intuition, you are not just listening to yourself, but to the guidance from heaven. Intuition is not something you can explain with ordinary logic because it comes from a deeper place, a place beyond reason. It is the call from heaven, from me, directing you in every step of life. But for intuition to be strong, you must practice it daily. Take time to listen to yourself, to understand what your heart and soul are saying. When you live in the busyness and noise of the world, your intuition will gradually fade. But if you know how to pause, how to listen and trust, you will see that intuition never fails. It will guide you on the right path, help you make wise decisions, and keep you away from dangers you cannot foresee. I also remind you that intuition is not only a tool for self-protection, but also a means for connecting with others. Intuition will help you recognize who is trustworthy, who has a true heart, and who is a betrayer you should avoid. In a world where deceit and betrayal are becoming commonplace, your intuition is the compass that helps you find those who are truly your companions. Beloved chosen ones, always remember that you are never alone. Your intuition is the connection between you and me, between you and heaven. When you feel lost, listen to the voice within. When you face difficult choices, let your intuition lead you. I will always be here, protecting and guiding you. But you must learn to listen and trust the signs I send. Never ignore your intuition, for when you listen to it, you will always walk the path heaven has destined for you. It is the path of honesty, love, and protection. Live with trust in the power of your intuition, and you will always be guided and protected through every challenge and difficulty. Beloved chosen ones, this is a crucial time to strengthen your trust in your intuition. You will need it in the days to come, as the world continues to change and the trials become harsher. Your intuition will be the light that guides you through the darkest moments, and I will always be by your side, leading and protecting you through that quiet yet powerful voice. Beloved chosen ones, I, Archangel Michael, come to warn you about the clear signs the world is facing today. Climate change, natural disasters, and global instability are not mere natural phenomena or coincidences. They are clear warnings of the decay and imbalance in the relationship between humanity and nature, between mankind and the spiritual values they have forgotten. These are not just physical events, but are heavenly messages, signaling to you that this world is in desperate need of a profound transformation. In recent years, you have witnessed an increase in natural disasters, storms becoming more violent, floods, droughts, and devastating wildfires. These events are not accidental, but are the consequences of human irresponsibility, greed, and selfishness. Nature, which I and the angels have always protected, is suffering from humanity's careless actions. This planet, a gift from God, is crying out for help, but too few are listening. Look at the world around you. Ice caps are melting, sea levels are rising, and many lands are slowly being submerged. Floods are becoming more frequent and more destructive, ravaging not only the land, but the lives of millions. Wildfires scorch vast forests, destroying habitats and leaving behind consequences that humanity will face for decades. These signs are clear warnings that the world is no longer in balance, and humanity must awaken before it is too late. Climate change is not just a problem for one nation or one community, it is a global issue. You must understand that what is happening is not just the result of poor political or economic decisions, but a consequence of the disconnection from the spiritual values humanity once held dear. This instability reflects a breakdown of trust, division among people, and between people and nature. The world has fallen into chaos because you have forgotten your responsibility to this planet and to one another. Global instability does not stem solely from natural disasters, but also from political and social conflicts. You have seen this in wars, in protests, and in the growing political and social division across the globe. Powerful nations vie for dominance. Economic entities exploit for personal gain without considering long-term consequences. Meanwhile, millions of innocent people suffer from the devastating consequences of these unnecessary conflicts. War and violence are raging across the world, from the Middle East, Africa, and even in previously stable regions of Europe and America. These conflicts are not just battles over power and resources, but are a struggle over values, as humanity forgets that we are all part of one human family and division only leads to destruction. These wars have left millions homeless, displaced, and living in fear of tomorrow. This instability is not only on the battlefield, but also in society, where people are growing further apart, no longer feeling the unity and love that once connected them. The world is in a period of great upheaval, and you must understand that these things are not simply punishments or natural consequences, but are messages from heaven. Heaven is sending warnings through these events to help you realize that change is necessary. Change not only in politics, economics, or the environment, but most importantly, spiritual change. Humanity must rediscover compassion, love, and respect for the planet and for one another. Beloved chosen ones, I call upon you to awaken to what is happening. Do not think that these natural disasters, climate changes, and political instability are distant issues that you cannot control. All of these are signs that the world is in need of healing, and that healing can only come from a change in humanity's consciousness. You must understand that for the world to overcome these challenges, there must be a change in the way people live, in how they treat one another and nature. I call upon you to start with the small things. Live with the awareness that every action you take has an impact on the world around you. Care for the environment. Protect the planet that God has gifted you. Treat one another with compassion and love. These small changes in your daily lives will create great impacts on the world. The global instability we face today is not insurmountable. Humanity has faced great challenges before and has overcome them through patience, unity, and faith in a better future. But to do this, you must realize that the greatest change begins within. You must change your perspective, change the way you view the world and each other. When you live with love, truth, and compassion, you will see that this world can be saved. Beloved chosen ones, listen to my warning and heaven's message. The climate changes and global instability are not things you can avoid, but you can prepare your spirit and take action to face them. Hold fast to your faith in God, trust in my guidance, and you will find peace even in the most difficult times. This world is in need of change, and you are the ones chosen to bring that change. Start with yourselves, with small actions in your daily lives, and you will see that great change can come from the smallest of deeds. Trust that with honesty, love, and unity, you can overcome all the challenges that the world is facing. Beloved chosen ones, I, Archangel Michael, come to remind you that in this time of great turmoil, vigilance and steadfastness in faith are two crucial factors that will help you overcome every challenge. The world is changing rapidly, and the chaos comes not only from natural disasters, climate shifts, or social conflicts, but also from battles within the souls of each person. To stand firm amid the storms of the world, you must always remain vigilant and hold strong to your faith. I see that many in this world have lost their way, chasing after fleeting things, false promises from deceivers. Lies, betrayal, and deception are widespread, shaking the faith of many. But beloved ones, I come here to remind you that you must always be awake and watchful for the schemers, for the sweet words that may lead you away from God and the core values you hold dear. You must not allow yourselves to be led astray by temptation and chaos. There will always be those in the world who seek to exploit your trust, who wish to turn you into instruments for their ambitions. But if you hold firm to your faith and remain vigilant, you will not be deceived. You will not be led down the wrong path. Your faith is the shield that protects you from the world's traps. When you are steadfast in your faith, nothing can shake you. The vigilance I speak of is not about excessive suspicion or anxiety, but an alertness, an ability to recognize truth amid falsehoods, a discernment between right and wrong. In a time when truth is distorted and betrayers hide in the shadows, you need the eyes of wisdom, ears that hear God's teachings, and a heart strong enough to perceive the truth. When you are vigilant, you will not lose your way in the sea of misinformation, nor will you be swept into the schemes of the wicked. But vigilance alone holds no value if you lack steadfastness in faith. Beloved ones, in this time, your faith will be tested more than ever before. You will face doubts, temptations, and words that try to shake your belief. The world today is full of reasons to abandon faith, but you must remember that it is during the most difficult times that your faith must be the strongest. Steadfastness in faith is not just about believing in God, but also about believing in the values that faith upholds. You must live by the values that faith teaches: love, truth, compassion, and justice. When you live by faith, you will feel the protection and guidance from me and from heaven. When you are steadfast in faith, you will have the strength to overcome all challenges, all temptations, and all fears. I know that in this time, it is not always easy to maintain your faith. You will face moments of doubt, times when you feel weary and tempted to abandon your beliefs. But remember, faith is not something that can be shaken by temporary hardships. Faith is an eternal strength, the light that illuminates your path during the darkest moments. If you remain steadfast, you will never lose your way. Beloved chosen ones, I call on you to be vigilant and steadfast in your faith. Do not let the world lead you away from your beliefs. Always stay alert. Always be ready to face challenges with a strong spirit, and you will never need to fear. Heaven is always watching over you, and I am always here, guiding and protecting you through every storm of life. Beloved chosen ones, I, Archangel Michael, come to call you back to the core spiritual values that have guided humanity through the centuries, values that bring you peace and loyalty. In this chaotic age where betrayal, deception, and greed are rampant, returning to these core values is more urgent than ever. You must remember that only loyalty to your faith and the noble principles that God has taught you can lead you to the right path. Spiritual values are not just about faith in God, but also about practicing the virtues He has taught. These include love, compassion, honesty, and patience. The present world seems to have forgotten these values as people drift further from spiritual guidance, chasing after material wealth, power, and fame. But you, the chosen ones, must become the leaders, the light in the darkness, helping humanity return to the noble principles that once built a better world. Loyalty is one of the most important values you must uphold. Loyalty is not only about being faithful to God, but also about being loyal to yourself and the principles you have committed to living by. In a world where betrayal and deception have become the norm, maintaining loyalty is an act of courage. Loyalty to God, to your faith, and to noble values is not always easy, but it is the only way that will help you overcome every challenge. Beloved ones, return to the core value of love. In a world where people are growing more distant from one another, loving and respecting each other is essential to rebuilding broken relationships. You must know that love is not just a feeling, but also an action. Love means being willing to forgive, to help others even when they have hurt you. When you live in love, you live in accordance with your faith, spreading the light of heaven to the world. Truthfulness is another value you must never lose. The current world is full of deceit, and many have been mesmerized by sweet lies, illusions of fame and power. But I call on you to always live in truth, for only the truth brings true peace. You cannot find happiness and tranquility if you live in falsehood. Truthfulness is not just about speaking the truth, but also about living true to yourself, not pretending or going against your conscience. Live with honesty in every word, action, and thought, and you will find peace in your soul. In this world, many have forgotten compassion. But, beloved ones, you must remember that compassion is one of the most important qualities that God has taught. Compassion is the ability to empathize, to share in the pain of others, and to be ready to help them. In a world where people are becoming colder and more indifferent to one another, compassion is essential to rebuilding a harmonious and strong community. When you live with compassion, you not only help others but also help yourself. For compassion brings joy and meaning to your life. Beloved chosen ones, I call you to return to spiritual values because they are the only path that will lead you to true peace and happiness. These values are not just abstract principles, but concrete actions you can practice every day. Love others, live in truth, be loyal to your faith, and always keep compassion for those around you. I remind you that loyalty is not just to God, but also to yourself. You must always remain faithful to the promises you have made, to the principles you have committed to living by. When you are loyal to yourself, you will never lose your way, for you have built a solid foundation within your soul. This loyalty will help you face every challenge without hesitation, because you know that you are living in accordance with what you believe. Finally, beloved ones, I call you to return to spiritual values and live with loyalty. You must become shining examples, helping others find their way in a world filled with deceit and betrayal. When you live with loyalty and noble values, you will not only find peace for yourself, but also spread the light of heaven to those around you, helping them return to faith and love. Beloved chosen ones, now I, Archangel Michael, issue my final call to you. Time is running out, and you must prepare your soul and spirit to face the great challenges that are fast approaching. The preparation I speak of is not just material preparation, but more importantly, spiritual preparation. You must strengthen your faith, live by the values that God has taught, and not let yourselves be led astray by the turmoil of the world. Be vigilant, for the world is filled with deception and betrayal. False prophets will try to shake your faith, spreading confusion and doubt in your minds. But, beloved ones, do not let those lies affect you. Stand firm in your faith, for it is the light that guides your path. When you are spiritually strong, you will no longer fear the trials, because you know that heaven is always with you, and I am always watching over and protecting you. I remind you that preparation is not passive defense, but proactive strengthening of a powerful spirit and unshakable faith. Be vigilant, not only against deceivers around you, but also against the traps of your own heart. Ambition, selfishness, and indifference are challenges you must overcome. When you are spiritually prepared, you will not be swept into the vortex of temptation, nor will you be drawn by the fleeting illusions of this world. Beloved ones, I come to remind you that the trials you will face are not just your own, but are the trials of all humanity. This world is undergoing a great transformation, and each of you has a responsibility to prepare for that change. Pay attention to the signs that heaven has sent. Recognize the warnings in the life around you. Do not ignore the feelings your intuition is warning you about. That is my voice, the guidance that the angels have sent to help you overcome every difficulty. Finally, beloved chosen ones, I call on you to live with love, truth, and loyalty. You cannot control everything that will happen in this world, but you can control how you respond and how you live. Always live with a spirit of readiness and vigilance. When you do this, nothing will be able to shake you, and you will be protected from every trial you face. Remember that I and the angels are always with you, guiding and protecting you. You are never alone, but you must be ready, prepared in spirit, and vigilant in the face of every challenge. Time is short, but there is still opportunity for those who are willing to change, who are willing to live with faith and truth. Act now, and you will see that preparation and vigilance